Angular modules. So we're going to learn the concept of Angular modules, and we'll compare Angular module against JavaScript module. They are two different things, and in fact we are using both in Angular application, and we are going to see how we launch an application. Angular module. So Angular introduced the concept of module in the later stage of Angular 2 development. In fact, it is introduced after release candidate 5. Anyway, so introduced new modularity system called Angular modules, or NG modules. Every Angular application has to have at least one module. We call it root module, and it's called conveniently app module. So every application, so let's so if you take a look at the app module here, every single application has to have at least a root module, which is app module.ts file. Okay, so that is what we are talking about as app module. And Angular module, whether a root or feature, is a class with the ng module decorator. So any Angular module has to be decorated with ng module annotation. Okay. You could have multiple modules in your Angular application, and that is typically the case. So far we have dealt with only a simple application. That's the reason we have a single root module, but in this presentation and lab exercises, we are going to actually create a new module which contains its own set of components, pipes, and things like that. Okay, so this is example root module, app module.ts. Okay, so it's annotated with ng module annotation, and it contains an object that contains multiple properties: imports, providers, declarations, exports, bootstrap, and then this is a class of app module. Okay, all right. So if you build an application for the first time, basically app mod, ng module. Declarations, where you declare a bunch of components that you're using, and it's importing other modules, and then you specify the set of providers, and then this is the bootstrap, meaning this is the component that you're going to start the application with. Okay, so this is the service app. So let's actually take a look at the modules app. So that is a brand new application. So I'm gonna start ng serve. Okay, and so if you again take a look at the app here, app module. So this is the app component is declared. As a default, is importing browser module, forms module, and HTTP module. So browser module is the one that contains all the browser related functionality. Forms is for forms. HTTP is for the REST HTTP support. Okay, all right. And then in this case, it's not using any providers. It's not using any services. It's not using any pipes. Programmatically, and so that's the reason it doesn't have anything yet. And then bootstrap has app component. This is starting component. Okay, you could have exports here. So if you want your app component to be usable by other modules, then you have to export it. So in this case, we are not exporting anything because we don't expect our component, for example, app component, is going to be used in other modules. But if you take a look at the browser module itself, it might in fact have some components that need to be exported because we are using some functionality from that module. Okay, so this is another example module. So if you create a brand new module, it needs to have ng module annotation. It's actually importing common module, and then the export. So this is the component that I'm exporting in my module, so that someone else is going to be able to use that component, and we need to have this component to be declared. Okay, so we're going to actually create the new module as an exercise. So this is the again explanation of ng module decorator, the properties of ng module decorator. So import other modules whose exported classes are going to be used in components in your module. Providers, basically the services and the programmatic pipes. Okay, so creators of services that this module contributes to the global collection of services, they become accessible in all parts of the application. So again, services are typically something that you have to specify here. Declarations are components, directives, and pipes. Okay, and then exports is the basically whatever you want to export so that other modules can use. Okay, in terms of browser module, so I'm going to actually create the ng generate and module, and then I'm going to call it hello module. So let's create the hello module, and then what module it actually create. Okay, so it create the hello module TS file. So it create, in fact, the hello module TS file here. So you can see it imports common module, and there is nothing to be declared because there is no component that is being created here, right? Okay. All right. So what's the difference between browser module and common module? So browser module is a superset of common modules. So in our app module here, we only have declared the browser module. It doesn't actually specify common modules, right? Okay. So browser module internally actually, you know, the include common module. So so you know, we need to have a browser module only imported in the app module, and then we don't actually need to use, you know, browser module in other modules. So that's the reason it's importing just a common module. So browser module is the root application module of almost any browser application should import browser module. Browser module provides services that are essential to launch and run a browser-based application. But as we talked about yesterday, you know, you can use Angular to build non-browser-based application, right? In that case, you don't need the browser module. Common module. What's the difference between browser module versus common module? Browser module also re-exports common module from Angular common, which means component in the app module also have access to, you know, Angular directive such as ngIf and ngFor. So ngIf and ngFor, ngSwitch case, you know, all those things are in fact from common module. Okay. So when you create the another module, basically it's importing just common module. It doesn't need to import the browser module. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between Angular module against the JavaScript module. So JavaScript has its own module system for managing collections of JavaScript objects, as we talked about yesterday, right? So it's completely different and unrelated to Angular module system. They are two different but complementary module systems. So whenever you're actually importing these things, is actually using JavaScript module system. Okay, so you know, basically it's importing a class from this file. All right, but Angular module is basically, you know, they is talking about this ng module system. So they are two different things. So we are actually using JavaScript module as well as Angular module in our application. Okay. You use both to write Angular 2 application. So what is JavaScript module? In JavaScript, every file is a module, meaning every file is considered a separate module, and all objects defined in the file belong to that module. So JavaScript module declares some objects to be public by marking them with export keyword. Okay. And other JavaScript modules, meaning other files, use import statements. So you know, that is basically these things. Okay, so you're dealing with the JavaScript modules, right? Yeah, so these are all JavaScript modules. Okay, let's see. Angular libraries. Angular ships the collection of JavaScript modules, and you can think of them as library modules. So when you actually see some of the class, right? So let's actually see, you know, so the these are all the JavaScript libraries that contains the you know, Angular specific classes. So Angular form, it contains a form related classes, and this is containing all the core classes. This one contains all HTTP the classes, related classes. Okay, so every Angular library begins with the @Angular prefix. Okay, so these are all from Angular. And you install them with the npm package manager and import parts of them with a JavaScript import statement. Okay, so when you create your brand new application, those libraries are automatically downloaded and installed. Okay, so basically if you go to the node modules, so these are all the JavaScript libraries that you're actually using in Angular application. Okay, so you can actually, these are automatically installed. You can manually install it by saying npm install like this. Okay, then if you don't have any modules in the modules app, then it will actually grab all those modules, okay, and will kind of save it under node modules directory. Okay, so for example, to import Angular component decorator from the Angular core library, then you say import component, and this is the library. So this is again JavaScript, the module thing. You also import Angular modules from Angular libraries using JavaScript import statement. Yeah. Okay, so how to launch an application. So here, basically oh, you know what? Yeah. Oh, okay. So the way things work is, it's basically, if you take a look at the main TS file, let's see, main TS file like this. So you can see it's actually using platform from browser dynamic, and then bootstrap module is actually using add module. Okay, and in which you define the root component, all that stuff. So this is how you are going, the Angular application is bootstrapped. It's actually bootstrapping app module. Okay. All right, so lab. So what we are going to do is we are going to actually create a brand new module. So we already done that. So we created the hello module here. Okay. And then so in this case, a common module is imported, and in the past, I think they actually changed a bit. So when you actually create a module, it also create the hello component. It doesn't do that anymore, which is good. Yeah, I don't want to actually create the hello component while I'm actually creating a module. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to create we want to create the hello component that belongs to this module, and then we want other modules like app modules, app component to use it. So that's basically what we want to do. So let's see. So we have this app module, and on the hello, okay, so we want to actually create the hello component. All right, so let's see, we are going to create ngg component and hello. Okay, so we are creating hello on the hello component, the hello modules. Okay, so we now have hello component and hello modules. So when we create the hello, it's actually creating, it's actually declaring in app module here, but that's not what we want. We want to actually have a hello component to be in the hello module. So I'm going to delete this guy. So delete this guy and hello component. Okay. Instead, I want to declare this hello component in hello module. So here I'm going to declare here hello component and import. Okay. All right. Now I need to have this hello component to be usable in, let's say, app component. So in app component, so app HTML file, I want to use hello component. So let's see whether we could do that. So use hello component from hello module. Okay, so let's actually see whether app hello. Okay, so let's see whether it works. All right, it shouldn't work, okay, at this point, right? So if you take a look at the hello component, is the app hello, right? So let's see. Okay, so when I so obviously I has some errors. So it says app hello is not known element. So somehow app component does not know anything about the hello component. Why that is the case? Because app module, it doesn't know anything about the hello module. So first it has to do is it has to import hello module. So let's actually import hello module and import it. Okay, so let's see whether that actually solved the problem. Okay, so okay, so it probably solved one problem, but the it is still not knowing app hello is not known element. Okay, so what could be the problem? So we now have a hello module, right? So hello module has hello component. Then why is complaining about the fact that the it still doesn't know app hello? Anybody? The reason is we have not exported. We need to export it. Okay, so here let's export, and here we're gonna actually say hello component. Okay, all right, so let's see whether we are actually getting closer. All right, so that worked, right? So now the hello works is being used in app component. Okay, all right, so I want you to create another component of world in its own module. So I want you to create a brand new module called the world and create another component world. And I want you to use world component in both hello component as well as app component. Okay, so that's your lab exercise. Okay. Okay, so if we are done with this lab exercise, the next one is I want to create a brand new module called the pipes module, then create a custom pipe in that module and use that pipe in other modules. Okay, and yeah, so if you can do that, just that, and also you can create the another custom pipe in M module. Then I want you to move it to the pipes module. Okay, so I'm gonna actually do that myself, and in the meantime, feel free to do these things on your own. Okay. So I am going to create ng generate module. I'm going to call it pipes. And then I'm going to create the ng pipe. I'm going to just use my square pipe. Yeah, so yeah, there should be actually a way that I can specify what module is supposed to be created under. But yeah, so right now the pipe module is created under the here. So we want to move this guy. So under, I'm gonna just move to pipes, and the same thing over here. And then this pipe module, we do not want to yeah, so we don't want to be declared in M module, so I'm gonna again delete here, and so I'm gonna just remove this guy, and instead we need to declare in pipe module. So here we are going to declare the my square pipe. Okay, so we declared in pipe module, and let's see. Okay, so it is declared, and now we like to use this pipe module. I mean, we need to use this pipe in our app component. So I'm gonna just use, let's see, so pipe, yeah, so in terms of pipe, we're gonna just use this logic of value times value. Okay, so let's see whether we could actually use that guy in app component. So here I'm gonna say 5 times my square pipe. Okay, and let's see whether, yeah, it's going to work. Okay, so it didn't work. Okay, so it couldn't find my square pipe. Okay, so first of all, let's make sure the it is called the my square. Okay, oh, this is not what I want. So value times value. Okay, so yeah, we probably still have that problem of it couldn't find my square. Okay, could not be found. All right, so what we need is let's see, we so in the app modules we didn't import. Oh, first of all, the hello module, yeah, so it has hello module. It needs to import pipe module, pipes module and import. Okay, so let's see whether that is going to actually help us. Okay, so let's see. Still unhandled promise rejection template, blah blah blah. Pipe my square still could not be found. Okay, so we have imported pipe module, and in our case, so let's see. Yeah, okay, so we probably have to export in pipe modules. So let's see, declarations, export, and my square pipe. Okay, so let's see whether that will solve the problem. Okay, so that solved the problem. So we are now using the pipe successfully. Okay.